What is going on, guys? It is Reese from VEMA and I'm currently coming at you from Vancouver, where it is snowing, which is just awesome. I've never been in a city and had it snow before, so it's very, very cool to experience. Hopefully you guys are having a great start to the week as well. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about high time frame biases. I think they're one of the most useful tools you can have in your trading, and so I'm going to show you guys why I think they're such a useful tool to have, and then how you can pick your high time frame bias. So what we'll do is we'll head to VEMA. Okay, so to show you guys why I think a higher time frame bias is such a useful tool, I'm going to give you guys a really quick demo. It's a little bit clumsy, a little bit what I like to call quick and dirty maths. It's not 100% accurate, but it does give you a really good idea of kind of the thought process behind all this. And it's not terribly inaccurate either. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a specific time period. So we're going to look at this 400-day bear market we've been in. So we're just going to round off to 400 because, like I said, we're doing some quick and dirty maths, the best way to do maths. And then we want to know, okay, what percentage of time was price moving up? What percentage was it moving down? And what percentage was it moving sideways? And we can do that really quickly using that same tool. We can go, okay, here it was, let's call that a consolidation period. So that was about 21 days, 28 days. I can't remember the actual figure that I used when I got to my numbers, but yeah, one of those two. Then we had a consolidation period across here as well, about 140 days for that one. And then we had, this is really the only period that I would call like a move up. So somewhere around 70 days for that one. And so what we then do, when I can get rid of this, is I should have kept that because I need the object tree, is we come to the object tree. Oh no, struggle sitter this morning. And we get some data, or data for you, if that's what you prefer. So we had 400 days total of price action. We had 154 days where price was consolidating, 56 days where it was moving up, and that means that there was 190 days left over where price was moving down. Now, what I really like about this demonstration is you can see that during the move up period, there's actually quite a few bearish candles, right? But they're all just being counted as time moving up. During the consolidation, there is a good mix of both. That's how you get consolidating, so that's cool. During the bearish movements, there's very few bullish candles. Like we're looking at, that's the only bullish candle in that entire bearish move. There's that was our consolidation period, so there was none there. So it's actually a pretty, if anything, we've erred on the side of caution. There is more bearish candles in the bullish moves than there is bullish candles in the bearish moves we counted. So what we can then do with these numbers is look at the percentage of time that price was moving up and down. So let's say that you just decided to go long every single day. Price was moving up 14% of the time. So you would have a pretty poor chance of winning. If you decide to just go short every single day, price was moving down 47.5% of the time. So it's still worse than 50-50, but it is much, much higher than the always long case. Now, we could make a case for the consolidating, but I'm not going to because it kind of just be a coin flip, price is moving up, price is moving down. But you can see that much more of the time, price is moving down than up. So even if you did no TA and you just flipped the coin and said, if it's tails, I'm going to short today, you would have a much better chance of doing well than you would if you said, if it's tails, I'm going long today, purely based on what was happening in the market. So how this ties into a high time frame bias is if you have your high time frame bias and you say, okay, right now my high time frame bias is short, is bearish, and I'm only going to short, you cut out, like 86% of the losses that you would have taken on those longs, right? And you are only left with that 47.5% chance of winning on those shorts. So it massively increases your chances of winning. The other cool thing is if you take a look at the size of the moves down compared to the size of the moves up, it really sort of doubles down on this. So if we look at the biggest move up, it's probably this candle here, which was 15%, let's call it 16%, give it the benefit of the doubt, right? And there was really only two bullish candles that were anywhere near that. So, okay, so this one's a bit bigger, so we'll call it 18%. I don't think there's any that even really come close to that. Yeah, so okay, so let's say the two biggest bullish candles were 18%. When we look at the bearish candles, so there we have a 15. Once we start getting to the really big candles, we're looking at like 30% moves. So you can see not only were the bearish win rate higher, right? They had that 47.5% chance of winning, but the moves tended to be much bigger as well. So there's a lot more opportunity with the shorts over that 400-day period than there was with the longs. Now the question then becomes, how do you get your high time frame bias? So Me personally, I like to trade on the 4 hour a lot, and so I use a daily high time frame bias. When I trade on the 15 minutes, I use a 4 hour high time frame bias. So I just pick a time frame that is, considerably higher. So if you think 15 minutes to 4 hours, there is 16 15-minute candles in every 4 hour candle. Daily and 4 hour, there's only 6. But you want, personally, I don't think you want one that's like 1 hour to 2 hour. I think you want, a big grouping of numbers, because it just gives you a bigger picture view of the market. Once you decide what time frame you're going to use for your high time frame bias, and it's something you can muck around with, you can backtest, you can try different things. But once you decide what you're going to do with it, you need to figure out how you're going to pick your high time frame bias. So me personally, I am a huge fan of market structure. I just look at the market structure and I go, okay, from this period, we were making higher highs and higher lows. So my high time frame bias would have been bullish. At this period, when we made a lower low, I wouldn't have gone bearish just yet, but it would have been the first sort of sign of caution for me. Once we broke this low and then broke this low again, right? That's when I would have gone to a bearish high time frame bias, which means of those 400 days, I wouldn't have been bearish for the first, let's call it 40, right? The first 10%. But you're never going to be right on top. Right. The only way that you would have gone bearish instantly is you would have been shorting a steaming bull market, which is probably not the best idea. We just saw the opposite of that, if you were going long in a bear market. So there's always going to be a little bit of a lag with these things. But market structure is my personal favorite way to get a high time frame bias. But some other things that you might use. You might use EMAs. I know some people that will use an EMA cross. And so it is purely, a lot of people will use the golden and the death cross, which is 50 and 200. So what they would do is they would purely use the last cross, which would mean currently they would be looking for shorts, right? We had a death cross there, which just means the 50 EMA crossed under the 200 EMA. Have I got my EMAs backwards? No, I have them the right way. Perfect. So what these people would have been doing is once they saw that, they would have just been going short. That would have been their bias. Or, they might use their bias slightly different. Sorry, hopefully you guys couldn't hear that car. They might have used their bias slightly different to how I do, but whatever the case is, that would be how they would get their bias. You might use one EMA, right? You might go, if price is under the 200 EMA, I'm shorting, and if it's above, I'm longing. That is, I want to say, the John Temple, no, I've got his name wrong, but there is a really, really successful hedge fund manager, and that is like a big portion of his strategy. What side of the 200 EMA is price on, and that defines whether he's buying or selling. I'll try and remember his name and put it in the description for you guys. Other ways that you might get it is RSI, right? Some people will just look at the RSI, and if it is above the 50, so if we get a horizontal line, it's currently bugging me that I can't remember that guy's name, so hopefully it comes to me. If we stick this on the 50, what some people will do is when price is above it, they will look for longs, and when it is below, they will look for shorts. Other ones, so we've used EMAs, we've used price action, we have used RSI. I mean, to me, those are the key. I mean, to me, price action's the best one, but everyone thinks their system's the best. I'm sure there are other ways to pick your high time frame bias. So if you guys have any, definitely let me know. And let me know if you found this video useful. Have a great day, happy trading, and I'll talk to you guys very soon.